get those sounds. Sorry for my weird hair, by the way, just backdrop problems, or rather I just didn't put it back up. Anyway, what you're seeing here is a Special 20 with one of these overblow boosters. An idea that actually originated with Hank Bonson back in the 1990s, later developed by Brendan Power, but brought to its present state by Kenya Pollard, the Harpsmith. There's his name on this box here. This came in. This came to me, right side up, there we are. Came to me courtesy of Ross Garren, who loaned me one of these at the SPA 2025 convention. And one of the things that impressed me when I heard him demonstrate it in an earlier video was that he could hit notes very fiercely, very hard, and still get overblows, because the booster allowed him to play a harp where the reeds are not adjusted really low and thus more choky for hard playing, but enabling overblows. But you heard me playing fairly hard as he did, then playing the overblows and bending them up 2 or 3 semitones. And, well, that's what you heard. And I played around with that, partly to effect, but also just to kind of explore other ways of being expressive. And what I've noticed is the overblows are very strong once the slide is in. I didn't find that I could overblow with a tongue block, but I can't anyway. That's just one of my little secret weaknesses. Well, not so secret. I'm admitting it here. What I did notice was the overdraws. Well, I did play in the overdraw 7. And bent it up. And that's, even on harmonicas that will overblow out of the box, okay, that overdraw rarely works. And I tried some of the higher ones. They weren't as strong as that really strong lower ones, but probably if I worked a bit more on my overdraw technique, they would come in. I mean, they're all there. Interestingly, what this harmonica does, as its predecessors did, is it slides a plate over the reeds that you want to block out so as to really direct all of the air to the reed that produces the overblow. For the overblows, it's the draw reed. For the overdraws, it's the blow reed. You're pushing them or pulling them backwards and they sound higher pitch. And as a result, my blow notes go away down in the lower register, or really the low and middle, when I push in the slide, but my draw reeds, they become slightly stronger. Another side effect, though, there's draw 4. Normally it only bends a semitone because that's what lies between its pitch and the opening pitch, where the blow reed gets pulled backwards away from its slot. Sounds a higher pitch, but I can pull it down to a B from the D, 3 semitones, which is something you can also do on valved chromatic harmonicas. So you got a little bit of that to play around with and get away with and maybe do unusual things with, but it doesn't interfere with anything else. So that's just a very quick overview of this new Harpsmith, what is he calling it again? What's this say, actually? The customized harmonicas from the Harpsmith. And there's Kenya, I guess, in that picture. Anyway, this is the latest version of the Overblow Booster, and as you can hear, it's strong. I'm Winslow. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the weird hair.